Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Scott Gross. I'm joined with Steve Largy, and we're here for a big afternoon of football with Goffstown taking on the Concord Crimson Tide. So, beautiful day here, Steve.
Beautiful, perfect day. Football is back. We're excited about that.
So this is my holiday season. I don't know about you, but certainly to me, the start of fall is football season, and what a great day we have here between two teams that I think are probably going to be fighting for maybe second in the division. And we were talking about that earlier. Bedford this year looks to have an unbelievable team, and not to say that Goffstown won't be able to challenge them, but Bedford seems to be the pride of probably all of Division I right now.
Right, and definitely in this conference. And it's tough when you're preparing for a season to have this important of a game on day one. You look at that on the schedule as a coach and you say, oh, wow, we got to get ready.
Yeah, so for Goffstown, we've got some personnel changes this year. You know, they've had three quarterbacks now in the last 3 years. It'll be Charlie Keith will be the quarterback, and he's got a pretty good core of receivers. Running back this year is going to be probably Carter Cormier, but he's out today. Right. So there'll be Jackson that'll probably be doing some of the running. Duval might be doing some of the running duties. So it'll be a little bit of a hodgepodge for Goffstown's offense today. Defensively is probably where Goffstown has had the most least amount of turnover. So it'll be most stable there. And again, you've got a great safety play in Duval. Cornerbacks, Chouinard plays corner. St. Ange plays corner. Linebacking crew looks good, and you've got Adam Moses playing nose tackle again. So I think we're going to see a pretty steady defense, a stingy defense from Goffstown. I think the big question mark this year will be the offense.
Right. I mean, both teams have quite a few players coming back, a lot of senior leadership. It'll be interesting with an opponent in Concord today who finished 2-7 last year, but definitely have that core group of senior leadership coming back. A tough opponent, and like you said, probably playoff implications later down the road.
Yeah,
we don't overstate it, but it's there.
I would agree. This is a really pivotal game for a first game of the season. You know, the other thing, too, I was reading in the Union Leader, I think it was yesterday, was that you're talking about Bedford, Goffstown, and Concord have won, I think, 3 out of the last 4 state championships. So, you know, that North Division is going to be, you know, quite the battle, and Central is no slouch either. So,
right.
So I've got a beautiful day here. They're getting ready for the coin toss. So we're going to close it out, and we're going to start the game probably about another 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll kick it off and at that time.
All right, let's do it.
All right, we're ready for the kickoff here, and it looks like Concord won the toss, Steve, but they elected to defer. So Goffstown's going to start off on offense.
More than 30 deaths. Hundreds of thousands of people are under evacuation orders. Thousands of homes, businesses, and schools have been damaged or destroyed, accounting for over $100 billion in losses. The recovery will be difficult and long, and thanks go out to all of the first responders, police, fire, National Guardsmen, and ordinary citizens who are aiding in this process. The town of Goffstown and the state of New Hampshire send our thoughts and prayers to the people of Texas and Louisiana. And we ask everyone to please rise for a moment of silent prayer for all those affected by this catastrophic event. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your hats as we honor America and our servicemen and women serving all over the globe with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, so we are ready to go, Steve. I'll tell you, beautiful day, probably, mid-70s, I'd say?
Couldn't be more perfect, I don't think. In terms of weather, what you think of in terms of football, this is it.
Doesn't get much better.
Not much in terms of clouds in the sky, and we got a great game, too. I want to say this is probably the matchup of the week in Division I anyway in the state, just because of the conference battle, the implications later on. Two teams that are style-wise going to be doing the same thing or trying to do the same thing to each other. Spread offenses, three-man front on the defense. I think we're in for a treat today, and I think definitely the team that comes out on top is going to have a leg up in the conference.
All right, so we're almost ready for the kickoff. So in case you don't follow high school football, the kickoff is at the 40-yard line. Goffstown has typically done a razzle-dazzle, Steve, in their kickoff return. So we'll see. They kind of have almost like a handoff play. Let's see what they do here. And we're going to start the 2017 football season right now. And that ball is kicked to number 20, Carter Schwinnard. And he breaks free, and he could go all the way. Carter, that's Duval who has the ball now. Duval is going to scamper in for a touchdown.
That's how you want to start a football season, there.
So Schwinnard then gives it off to Duval.
A little trickery, like you just said, Scott. Little trickery in the backfield on that kick.
It had me screwed up on that one, but Duval, as you can see, he's got just tremendous speed. So Goffstown on special teams picks up a quick touchdown.
And you know what? The kick was really good. Inside the 10-yard line, pinned them against the sideline. Looked like there wasn't much room to go. Jacob Knowles, the receiver who kicked deep, did a great job, but just better executed by Goffstown with that tricky reverse.
So David Gibson is on for the extra point. And that is good. So last year we had Sam Heidenreich. Actually, he was the kicker for Goffstown for about 3 years. Great field goal kicker. And I'm told that Coach Huff recruited 2 more soccer players to do those duties. So Gibson gets the extra point.
That's great for a number of reasons. You allow your players to kind of specialize in what they actually do. So, I mean, they don't necessarily have to be on special teams on the field. And if you can get these guys a blow, a rest, that's going to save them for later in the game.
So going back to that prior play, Steve, you were absolutely right. I mean, the kicker for Concord, he put it in what's called like the coffin corner almost, where it's like it's really hard to get a good return when it's that deep. And really, Goffstown, I thought, did a spectacular job on that return.
Yeah, a lot of teams you'll see players kind of bail if they're trying to do something like a handoff in the backfield when it's that deep and that well placed in the corner. You won't see it executed, and they did it anyway. And like you said, we were expecting it, and they still fooled us.
So we've got David Yellow Shoes Gibson, it looks like here. Let's see what his kickoff looks like. And he kicks it off fairly deep to about the 5-yard line. It's dropped, but now picked up. And a big tackle. Big tackle by number 33, Jack Stinnett, who plays linebacker for Goffstown, but a massive tackle on special teams.
Kelleher with the run back there for Concord. Special teams is big, right? I mean, that you see it on those 2 plays right there. We got 7 points on the board for Goffstown. Concord pinned in here right around their own 10-yard line.
So you were mentioning before Goffstown's playing a three down lineman.
Yeah, it looks like they're right now in a 3-3 stack. Right. So they typically use their outside slot guys as rovers, which, matches up well against the spread offense that you'll see from Concord.
So you got a running back in the backfield, and he gets tripped up.
55 there in the backfield for Goffstown.
And I believe that was Seth Malachi.
Yeah, Malachi in the handoff. He's going to touch the ball a lot today for Concord. Pinard's just shoots the gap right there and comes in from the backside to disrupt that play.
All right, so looks like Concord has got 2 receivers flanked to the right, to their right. Malachi is in the backfield. It's going to be a pass. And he gets tripped up.
75 there. Picard there. Quarterback tried to get loose. Pretty much no gain on that.
Yeah, so Josh Picard, he was talked about in preseason by the coaches. They were very pleased with his performance.
Great
now,
job.
Now they're in a 3rd and 10. So Concord's in a 3rd down and 10 situation. Looks like it'll be a passing situation. Again, Malachi in the backfield, but he's not going to be getting the ball. And that gets thrown away because he was going to get sacked again by Picard. Was right in his.
Picard's there again.
Yeah,
all 3 plays on that series, Picard either in the backfield or doing his job, standing his guy up and making that play. Goffstown really stout there at the beginning. They're prepared for that rollout, too. Concord quarterback Zach Miles, small but very shifty. He's going to roll out and try to do those things. Goffstown does a great job of reading it.
So Goffstown's getting ready for the punt. And that's going to be right to, is it Duval? Duval gets the ball, and he is going to get tripped up. No, he's not. He eludes the, and he looks like he lost a few yards. So he tried to make something out of nothing there, but good job by the special teams of Concord. And Goffstown will start at Concord's 40.
It looks like we have a penalty flag on the play too, Scott, so we'll have to see what this is.
And let's see what the referee is saying here. Might be a hold.
Sideline warning against Goffstown.
Just a warning there on the sideline, so it won't be a penalty the first one. The next time they get called on it, though, will be a yardage penalty enforced against the Grizzlies.
All right, so we've got, 4 receivers for Goffstown. We got Hayden right closest to us. That's going to be a pass, and oof. Charlie Keith looked like he didn't really even have a grasp of the ball before he threw it. It was a really quick type play.
Right, quick pass out to the slot. Yep. Concord's up tight on that, so might be setting something up later.
So we got Schwinnard closest to us. Duval is in the slot. High snap, and that ball's fumbled. So Charlie Keith lost control of the ball, but is able to recover it, and the ball is still on the 46-yard line. That'll be a 3rd down and 10. So a little bit of little nervousness here for Goffstown's offense.
A little time to shake off the rust. I think we've seen that from both teams early on, but it does send a message. The first play of the game, a throw for Goffstown, shows confidence in the young quarterback.
So Stinnett is in the backfield. We got Schwinnard in motion. And Charlie Keith holds on to the ball. He doesn't get much. He gets about 3 yards. So it looks like Goffstown will be punting here. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
That's McCready, the middle linebacker for Concord. He's a senior captain, one of the leaders on that side of the football for them.
So Eric Lefebvre will be on for punting duties for Goffstown, and he's looked pretty good in warm-ups. Punting is always a dangerous endeavor. And he lets a good one off, and it's going to be a fair catch by number 11, Gavin Moody. And they'll take over, let's see, about the 12-yard line.
12-yard line, looks like it. Special teams, again, it's so pivotal, and it's one of those things that rarely gets talked about. And, so far, Goffstown's had the edge in that.
Yeah, whenever you look at special teams, especially like a punting situation, it's always like, what's the snap going to look like? And we've seen that. I saw that in the Jamboree where you had a couple of snaps that just went over the punter's head or over the place kicker. It's just not a good situation. So it's like Concord is coming out. We got another running back in there, Glady. And here comes another pass. And that ball is dropped.
Zach Miles passed
by number 26.
That's Malachi. That was the intended target there. You had some good coverage from Pinard and Chouinard there.
Pinard and Chouinard. That's
Pinard
like,
and
sounds,
Chouinard.
sounds like a law firm.
They also have a Picard.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of
Picard,
rhyming
Chouinard,
on defense.
Yeah. So one of the strengths for Goffstown's D is their linebacking core. Real strong guys, fast too.
Fast. You can see them in coverage there. Malachi really fast out of the backfield, but you know,
2 running backs. It's like Malachi
and Gladdy are really the brunt of the offense. Miles is going to roll out and throw, but what you're going to see is really a steady diet of those two in the backfield.
So we got about a 3rd down, 8, maybe long 8.
Tackled by number 5, Joey Passan on that last play.
And you're going to hear a lot from Poisson because he's one of the better. I think he has a strong potential of being an all-state type player this year.
He's another guy, along with Pinard, who's just been in the mix on every single play.
Here comes another pass play, and that's overthrown. So that's another 3 and out for Concord, who has not looked all that good so far on offense. They've seemed a little bit rattled.
Not able to run the ball, you know, 1st and 2nd down. It puts you in tough positions on 3rd down. Makes it easier on your defense, especially when you've got great guys in coverage.
So, Steve, this is like deja vu because this is a very similar to maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago with Duval. He's at the 45-yard line, set to receive a kick here. And that's a much shorter kick. You got to stay away from that one, and that's just gonna be probably go at around the 46, 47-yard line of Concord.
Touchdown there. Goffstown will take over possession on their own half, on the Concord side of the field.
I'll tell you, Steve, for Concord, that's a wise kick in a way because you got to keep it out of like a Duval's hands. I mean, they had good coverage on special teams that last punt, but Duval has that really breakaway type speed, very elusive guy.
And you saw it on the first return. Yeah. He did break a couple tackles there, and maybe one guy away from making something happen.
So the ball now is closest to us, and again, Goffstown's got 3 receivers to the net in the backfield, and he is not going to break free. He'll get about 3 to 4 yards maybe on that, about 3 yards. They were really yanking at that ball.
Yeah, and he was able to push the pile a little bit. 55 there again for Concord. McCready.
You know, a big test for Goffstown is the offensive line. They've lost a couple of starters, and you know, that's really where the games get won and lost are in the trenches.
In addition to special teams, absolutely. That's really what you're seeing is what team executes better offensively.
Here comes
and
a
can
pass,
block and
wide
tackle.
open, caught by Duval. Touchdown, Goffstown. So another touchdown for the mailman.
What a great throw there by Charlie Keith. He steps back. He allows his receiver to get to that wheel route, right? And on that double move, he gets open. Duval gets open.
So Andrew Duval has 2 touchdowns, one on a kickoff return and one on a beautiful pass by Charlie Keith. Led him
dropped
perfectly.
It right in the bucket.
Yeah. You know something? I tell you, if you're Concord, you really got to be careful with single coverage on Duval. He's just too good.
Right, no safety help there, which means if you're straight up man-to-man and you get beat on that double move, you're in trouble.
And that ball is kicked right into the keister of the offensive lineman. So,
that's what you get for snapping the ball sometimes, you know.
That has to hurt.
I'm sure the center will say something to the kicker on the way back.
Yeah, so Goffstown jumps onto a 13-0 lead. And the mailman, Andrew Duval, who often delivers, as Alan Potvin has coined the nickname, right? The mailman. There's a reason why I call him that. So great touchdown by Duval.
A great nickname, and he's living up to the nickname, it would seem. That blocked kick is really the only thing that's gone right for Concord so far, and some of it's just getting out of the gate. You know, when you start your season, it's really hard, even though you've played some preseason games, to know how are the kids going to come out. And let's see what happens the rest of this one. There's still a lot of time left.
So listen, we have we have a different kicker now? We do. Number 45, Brad Minnick, has the kickoff duties right now. Here comes a kick from Minnick, and that is going to be like an onside type of situation. And it is touched by Concord's number 33. That's Manny
Feliz.
Yep. Right. So it looks like Minnick, I don't know if it was trying to do an onside kick or was he just trying to put it into like that neutral type area where there's no really, there aren't a lot of players. I don't know.
Definitely a short kick. Looked like it was by design.
Yeah.
You might start to see some of these rolls. We know that they're going to be using multiple kickers this year. Usually every kicker has a set purpose, so you're going to see some guys kind of specialize in that short onside type kick.
So
some are kicking it deep.
Isaac Glady, he gets the handoff, and he is quickly wrapped up. And number 55, another guy, Justin Pinard, who I think also has the potential for all-state honors this year.
Pinard and Stinnett right there, both shooting the gap, almost reading run on first down.
So it looks like Concord has put in some different personnel. So again, Glady is in the backfield, and we got, who is that, number 4? That's the quarterback. And Malachi. And this movement on the offensive line.
It looks like 75 jump for Concord.
Yeah, so look, there was a blitz coming by Goffstown. I don't know if they went to the neutral zone.
More a case of anticipating that blitz and just flinching a little bit.
So it is a false start by Concord. That looked like it was right. Did it look like it was a blitz from Goffstown on that?
Yeah, and I think they just jumped to anticipate that. You don't, especially early season. You're a little bit jumpy anyway. So 75 flinches, cost Concord 5 yards.
So you got Jose Paez at an end position, number 67. And he's shooting the gap again. That's a fumble. Recovered by the quarterback for Concord, number 4. So Miles recovers his own fumble, and right now things aren't going so well for Concord. But it seems like defensively, either they're
right now.
What do they call it, a run blitz or something?
Goffstown is pinning their ears back.
Yeah.
They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming after Concord, and they're anticipating that run. So that's exactly what it is, Scott. It's a run blitz, and 55, Pinard and Picard are coming every time.
It's a fake handoff, and that's going to be wrapped up. Really nice open field tackle by number 33.
Stinnett does a great job there on that counter play. That play is designed to make him bite, right, and get him from doing his job. And he stays home on the backside, reads it, and he's just waiting there for the tackle.
Steve, I got to tell you that I'm really glad that I'm a part of the GTV union because I think I'd be out of a job with you. You're doing such an awesome job here. I mean, this guy
I didn't get union papers yet.
I don't know.
So
I'm like done. I'm going to get terminated.
A lot of people are probably saying, "Who's this new guy?" Right?
Yeah. Who's the new guy who's smooth?
I have to step it up.
Duval, he gets the punt, and he gets tackled rather quickly. He picked up about 5 yards in that return. He's at about the 40 to 41 yard line of Goffstown. But thank you so much, Steve, for stepping in. Let me give you a little quick story for the viewers. Kind of funny, but it's Labor Day weekend. Alan Potvin, who normally does the play-by-play with me,
the other voice of GTV,
the voice, right? He is the voice of the Grizzlies. So he is on vacation, and so he couldn't go. And so I called up a few people, and it's the holidays. People got plans, and lo and behold, I mentioned this to somebody else at the Blue Moose, and Steve's there. He goes, "I'll do it." Never
Strange things happen at the Blue Moose on Thursday afternoons. Let's just say that, and happened to be there.
To Stinnett, and he picks up about 7 or 8 yards on that. Big opening on the left-hand side of that line.
Yeah, great blocking on the left side there. Looked like an isolation block. First time we've seen that. A lot of zone read coming from Goffstown. Charlie Keith's doing a great job of making his reads.
Yep.
He's reading the end of the line, and he's handing it when he should be handing it.
So I'll tell you,
when he should be.
right now, I got man-to-man here on Carter Schwinnard, near side.
There's nobody over the outside guy here. There was nobody.
There is a flag. And I like those 2nd down and 1 situations to go deep with the ball, to be honest with you.
False start penalty on Goffstown.
So now we don't have a 2nd down and 1. We've got a 2nd down and 6.
And that really hurts because at some point Concord's going to figure out that they are outflanked on this side of the field.
Yeah.
We can see one receiver
and
that is not covered up.
Right, and Chouinard has just unbelievable speed. You know, he has just as good a speed as most any of the players on this team.
Situation where you probably don't want one guy covering 2.
That's a high snap. Handoff. The keeper, I should say.
Yep.
The quarterback keeps that one, and he only picks up about a yard. So now that penalty kind of hurt them quite a bit because now they've got a 3rd down and about 5 when that would have been a 1st down. So let's see if Goffstown passes. I would think that they would pass here.
Yeah, with 3rd and 4, it's a
number 28 Ben Dodge is in the game. He's in that slot.
You got some options here.
That's a run up the middle, and he's going to get nothing. Great defensive stop by Concord. So Stinnett gets stopped by number 58, I believe, Cameron Thompson.
You see a lot of guys for Concord in the box right now. You see about 8 or 9 guys in the box. Which is really D'ing up the run.
Which is kind of unusual because Goffstown has had success with a couple of those passes. Why wouldn't they just try to air it out a bit more?
I think they'll probably start to take advantage at some point, especially with Keith making that great dime pass to Duval. You know they're not going to be shy about it.
Good kick, and that is not going to – it is a fair catch. And he fumbles it. Number 11. You know, it was weird in that situation to have both punt returners, 2 punt returners, and then literally within, they could hold hands. And you don't typically see that. Maybe they're trying to do one of those Goffstown, plays, but even still, you just don't see 2 punt returners and then they're right next to each other.
Sometimes it's for misdirection. Sometimes it's an extra guy to block. Not really sure. It looks like Moody is the guy that they're trying to get the ball to. They want the ball in his hands in that situation. Fortunately, was able to cover up that fumble there.
So we got Picard, Moses, and Paez D-line. Quarterback keeps it, and he breaks free. Passes, caught by number 2, Spencer Burgess.
Wow, they had the perfect play call on there, blitzing that backside linebacker, and
just couldn't wrap up the tackle.
Exactly. Yeah. This is sort of what they expected though with Miles. He's going to make plays with his legs, not necessarily with his arm, and there he just extends the play and is able to hit the guy out of the backfield.
The big question for Concord's quarterback, Miles, is that can he throw a deeper ball? Because right now he's only really been throwing the ball about maybe 20 yards tops.
Well, at 5'8",
that's all you need to do, I guess. But
yeah, it's tough to be a pocket passer at 5'8", so they're going to have to roll him out and do those
motion,
things.
Handoff to Malachi.
Number 8, Isaac Gladdy on the carry.
I apologize. That was Isaac Gladdy, and it looks like that was about a no gain. And Poisson again with the tackle.
Yeah, Poisson just clogging things up in the middle there. Concord really having a tough time getting anything going out of the run game.
When you got a guy like Moses, he's pushing like 330, I think 340. I mean, he clogs up the middle, and so far so good on the other 2 defensive linemen in terms of Picard and Paez. So we got a 2nd down and 10. Going to be a handoff.
That counter play again.
Yeah, and he slips. So Gavin Moody he couldn't get any type of traction.
And even if he keeps his feet there's really nothing for him, and that's a product of guys staying home and just doing their job defensively instead of chasing the football.
Now, do you think, Steve, that maybe that Concord is worried about maybe Goffstown's team speed? Because they really haven't tried to turn the edge on this, on most plays. It's all been, like you said, those inside the tackle type plays.
Exactly, and I think, some of that is probably, not being able to get to the edge, one, and two, just against this three-man front, you feel like you should be having some success running the football.
Comes a pass play. Caught by number 11 for a first down.
That's Gavin Moody.
So on that one, it looked like Goffstown dropped back into almost like a zone-type defense and only had about 3 guys rushing and could not get any pressure, whereas in the past, they were really throwing a lot more people at the quarterback.
Yeah, and it looks like they sit back, especially the Rovers for Goffstown. The safety kind of sits back and, again, drops into that zone. Moody, the slot receiver, just sits down where he's supposed to, and Miles is able to put the football on him.
So glad he gets the run, and he is going to get tackled. Looks like it was the safety Duval.
I think Pinard's there too.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Maybe I was wrong on that one. It's number 5. That would be Poisson.
It looks like where Concord's having success is where they thought they might, and that was rolling Miles out and finding guys in space.
And they are going a lot to their right, to the right side of their line where Picard is.
Right. Again, right-handed quarterback. That's where they're going to roll him usually.
Another handoff to this. Now he's going to take it outside. Does he have the speed to get there? And he doesn't really get the edge. He's out of bounds, probably around the 40-yard line.
Colby Putnam there to push him out of bounds after about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
So this will be a big third down.
A timeout on the field here. Oh, no, it's the end of the quarter, actually.
Yep, end of the quarter. So after the first, Goffstown leads 13-0. And again, that was, for those of you who might be coming in a little bit late, we had a initial kickoff of the season, and Carter Schwinard, so he hands it off to Duval. Duval brings it to the house for a touchdown, and then there was a beautiful touchdown pass. Probably was about a 50-yard touchdown pass, Steve?
Yeah, I think they were just on the other side of the 50,
yeah.
so maybe even plus that 1 or 2 yards. But great throw and catch there. And first quarter, that was really owned by Goffstown.
I think the challenge for Goffstown is, they don't have Carter Cormier as their running back today. Stinnett has been in the backfield. He had a couple of good runs, but they just haven't really been able to establish the run game, or really, I say, establish a whole lot of long, sustaining type drives.
Right, and again, you see a lot of guys in the box for Concord. You see 8-9 guys really kind of bunched up against the run, and that's where you had that Duval pass open. Man-to-man coverage on the outside. So that's probably where you're going to see some success.
What I'll tell you, what I'd like to see Goffstown do is, you've seen where there's only been one cornerback, it seemed like, on the short side of the field, or the side closest to the camera, and they just have to throw a ball out to Schwinard and let him run with it.
Right, and they'll make the adjustments. You'll probably start to see some bubble screen action, some short throws to the outside.
This could be trouble. And it is for number 8. He almost got thrown for about a 5-yard loss there. So now we've got a 4th down. Let's see if Concord is going to go for it. They might, because this is about the best drive they've had so far this afternoon.
Poisson and Pinard there again. Anytime you're running right, you're running into what seems to be the teeth of the Goffstown defense.
So the key here is, will the quarterback just pooch kick it, or are they really going to go for it? And we'll find out in a second.
Watch out for that little rollout again, some flood action.
And it's a pooch
kick.
They're
pooching it.
Yep. And I like that play, to be honest with you. I think it'll get it around the 10-yard line.
It keeps rolling.
Yeah, so I think in high school football, anytime that you can avoid having a return, the better off you are.
Yeah, make them go 90 yards. Yep. Make them march. Concord's had a little bit of success now defensively.
Yeah.
Their momentum's starting to swing a little bit. You don't want to do anything that turns that momentum back against you.
I agree. I think that was a good call by Concord. Force Goffstown, and even here, what happens if there's a, God forbid, on Goffstown's side, some sort of a turnover? It's good. It's a 13-0 game. This is by no stretch a blowout right now.
No, you pin them deep, and again, anything can happen. Turnover on this side of the field.
Fumble, like I said, and it's recovered.
We were just talking about that, yeah. I mean, you pin a team deep, and that's what you're hoping for. Fortunately, Goffstown pounces back on that.
Yeah, so Charlie Keith, looked like there was a fumble on that exchange. I think he was going to be keeping it the whole way, but
left it in a little too long, and sometimes those backs just grab for it on that zone read. They're not anticipating the quarterback pulling it out.
So we got 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Let's see if this is a passing situation. No, it's a run up the middle by Charlie Keith, who does a nice job, and he is almost at a first down. So he's a yard shy of a first down at the 19.
Sometimes you see zone reads that are, that the quarterback is actually reading something. That time it looked like Keith was pulling it the entire way. There was no read. That was an intentional fake. Defense bit. He's able to hit the hole.
A 3rd and 2 for Goffstown. Stinnett in the backfield. And he gets the handoff, and he is going to fall short of that one. So
they only needed about 2 yards there.
But he got nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't get anything on that one. Well, maybe 1. I apologize. So he's a yard shy. He'll be bringing the kicking team in here.
Needed to get to the 20, and he just didn't get there.
Now, this will be the same exact situation.
Couple of the guys there for Concord, just again clogging that box. McCready in there again, making the play.
And Charlie Keith, he bounces out. He gets the edge. Let's see if he gets the edge. 32 comes up, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. So Charlie Keith, I'll tell you, you look at the coaching staff of Goffstown, and I have to say that Justin Huff amazes me all the time. I mean, that is a real gutsy call. If this wasn't family television, I'd say it was something else. But now, if we air
a little reckless, but at the same time, if you feel like things those are the types of play that it wins you football. So you play to win the game. They had the old saying.
At 10 p.m., we can dub over what I really wanted to say. Another handoff. This is to Stinnett, and they're going after the ball big time. So
you're right about that call, though. You're right. It's gutsy. You don't get it in that situation. You give up some really good field position to a Concord team that hasn't moved the ball all that well.
And there is a laundry on the field.
Legal formation, still some early season rust as we're seeing, just getting guys lined up.
Well, if that's the case, then it's a dead ball foul, and you'd never even play that. Shouldn't even be a snap. And that penalty is being declined by Concord, so that'll bring up about a 2nd down and 9 or 10.
And because it's a formation, not a procedure penalty, they let the play go on, so it's declined by Concord, making it 2nd and 10.
Quick pass to Duval. He's not going to get much. Wrapped up nicely.
Scott, that's exactly what you said you wanted to see was that little screen on the outside of the field. In that case, that looks like a little bit of a jailbreak screen where they're trying to.
I agree, but Burgess did an awesome job on that tackle.
Yep.
And he's been around the ball a lot, Spencer Burgess, for Concord. And now we've got a 3rd down and about 7. They're trying to draw Concord off sides, but that didn't work. And they're audibleizing. And that's going to be another. That's going to be motion by Goffstown, I think.
Yeah, 33 moving a little bit in the backfield there.
So that'll be declined.
Stinnett goes a little early, probably anticipating the snap.
And they're probably going to decline this one,
I would imagine they're going to decline it. After no gain on the play there by Keith.
I got to be honest, I don't know the difference between a shift, legal shift and mode. What? That's not a dead ball foul?
That one probably should be a dead ball foul. early for everybody, including the
we got
referees.
Adam McCune. You know, he's doing the camera work, but he's watched so many football games. He's kind of like the Rain Man of football, and he's just starting to throw out all these terms to us.
We definitely appreciate the help there. Yeah. It's preseason for us too.
Well, that's gutsy. But he picks up the ball, and he's going to get about another 15, 20, 30 yards on that thing. So good job by number 11.
That's Gavin Moody.
Yeah, so Moody heads up.
He is one of their playmakers. Yep. He's the guy that can make things happen, a lot like Duval on the other side of the football.
So he must have stepped out of bounds or something, because I thought he got further than that, but now they're saying it's only at the 25.
Yeah, they must be saying he stepped out. He did get all the way to the 30, but I think he must have stepped out before that at the 25.
So help me here. Have we had any turnovers in this game? I don't think so. There have been fumbles, but they've all been recovered by the offense. But we have not seen any interceptions or any fumbles by either of the offenses here.
Not many penalties either, actually, for an early season game. I know a lot of lopsided scores in the state last night. A lot of sloppy football.
And Miles goes down. He gets maybe two. Actually, he got, 2 yards in that one?
Yeah, 1-2 yards.
Yeah. But you're right. It looks like he is most dangerous when he kind of scrambles out.
Right. Picard does a great job on that side of staying with it.
He stayed contained on that.
Yep. And, I mean, that's tough. When you have a mobile quarterback and you're a bigger defensive tackle, I mean, getting out there is not an easy job.
So you got Brandon St. Ange, D-back. He's closest to you. And that's going to be quarterback keeper. And he is brought down by number 52, Jake Brown.
Pinard was again screaming downhill on that. That's probably the situation where the quarterback should have handed it rather than keeping it. That middle was pretty clogged up.
So we got a third down and 7, and we've got about 6 minutes, 45 seconds left till the half. And I'll tell you, I give credit to Concord, man. They are hanging in this game right now. It's only a 13-point lead for Goffstown. Big third down. Miles with the snap. It's going to be a passing play. He's going to give it to number 8, and he gets quickly corralled by Coleman Handrahan.
Handrahan there the whole way. Again, sort of a deceptive play where they leak the H-back right there. Hoping Handrahan kind of goes with the flow on that play, and he stays home and makes the tackle, wraps up good.
One thing that I think Goffstown should be pretty pleased with is that they've tackled well today.
Well, and that's exactly what Concord's trying to do is get their athletes in open field space. So if you don't wrap up, that's a big play. They could turn Gladdy loose there.
So Duval is at the 35-yard line waiting for this punt. And it's a good punt, and let's see if Duval picks it up. And he's going to pick it up. So here comes a run back by Duval. He makes one quick juke, and he steps out of bounds.
Penalty on the play.
And that's going to be a Goffstown penalty, I think. I think it's a block in the back.
I heard an early whistle over there.
Not
sure if he stepped
violation?
out.
Could be another sideline violation. Nope. Personal foul. What was that? Because we didn't see it from up here.
I think what happened is we had a whistle because Duval had stepped out of bounds, and they continued to play.
Yeah, but you didn't hear a whistle. I didn't hear. Do you hear a whistle? I didn't hear a whistle.
I did hear a whistle on the sideline, but it looked like Duval kept playing.
Yeah.
And that's probably why the Concord player attempted to make a tackle there. Really didn't make a tackle on Duval.
That's a tough penalty, I think.
Very tough penalty. Especially 15 yards. That's tough. Now it puts the ball on the other side of the field.
And you got 3 receivers for Goffstown. Stinnett in the backfield. It's going to be a keeper by Charlie Keith, and he gets wrapped up by number 59. And Charlie Keith keeps pushing those legs forward, and he probably picks up about 6 yards on that.
Tackled by number 9, Adrian Kennedy.
Buto's on the play there as well for Concord.
And then Kennedy, I guess, wrapped them up at the end.
Right.
So that brings up 2nd down and 5.
Gutsy keep there by the quarterback, Keith. He takes the ball up the middle and takes some punishment along with those 5 yards.
Let's see what we got. We got Duval in the slot receiver. We got Chouinard flanked out, and I'm trying to see who's on the far side of the screen. Duval gets the handoff, and he goes nowhere. And he picks up maybe a yard on that.
That's that stretch read play again. Concord knows it. They cover it up well. They run the same play themselves, so they saw it coming.
No gain on that play. 3rd and 5 from the Concord 35.
Now, in my opinion, this is going to be 4th down territory for Goffstown because they're not going to punt the ball at the 35. I highly doubt that. So they've got 2 opportunities here to get a first.
Well, Coach Huff went for it at his own 11, so I'm thinking he's probably going to go for it here too.
I tell you, if Charlie Keith practices a hard count, he might get some offside calls. And it's another keeper by Keith.
Keep.
Wide open.
Great
He could
keep.
go all the way. He gets a nice block, and number 11 wraps him up. So Gavin Moody wraps him up, but a great read there by Charlie Keith, and then he set up a real nice block. I think that might have been Chouinard on that one.
They've had a lot of success with that play.
Right.
On both sides of the football.
And what we've seen is that Charlie Keith's got some pretty good wheels.
That's a great job of blocking it, too, by the O-line there.
Got Eric Lefebvre. Looks like he's playing on the offensive line, along with number 78, Evan Cuddy. They're on the left side. Duval in motion.
Oh.
And he's
on the ricochet.
And he gets stopped. And again, this is, you see, this is, I would say, uncharacteristic of Goffstown in terms of their execution because, these are you're talking about a high snap, quarterback can't grab it. That was just a major flub all around.
Pretty lucky to come up with it, too.
Yeah.
It's fortunately right in Duval's path, so the ball just kind of finds him. Best case scenario, really.
Now, they lost 5 yards on that. So we're almost at the 3-minute mark before the half, and it's a second down, probably about 13, 14 yards. Duval's in motion again. If he fakes it to him, and that's a pass play, and almost intercepted. So that was a good idea. And was that Joey Poisson who was?
Yeah, that's Poisson right there, coming across the middle.
I have not seen Poisson play offense, so that was a little bit of a surprise. But had that been a good pass, Steve, that's a touchdown.
That's a well-designed play.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that Concord was not anticipating. You saw them kind of bite on the run fake there. He's got to put that ball on Poisson.
So this is a tough spot for Goffstown. So you got 3rd down and 13 at their 15-yard line. If they don't make anything here, you're looking at a 32-yarder. That's a touchdown. Wide open to number 22, Colby Putnam. Wide open, and great job by Keith to hang in there and wait till that receiver makes his break.
Right, that's the one he wanted. He was looking at Putnam the whole way. Had 81 on the other side, but that's how you make up for that last throw by throwing a bullet right across the middle on that post.
The other nice thing there, Steve, was that the offensive line gave Keith a lot of time to throw.
He had the time.
He had the time.
That's what you call a clean pocket.
So number 92, and that ball is good.
David
No,
Gibson.
he says no.
Oh, he missed it.
Huh?
Outside the right upright, I guess.
I guess so. I mean, yeah, from here, we're all kind of shaking our head. But
I believe the Goffstown bench thinks they hit it as well.
It was just really weird. I mean, but again, the referee, the official, has his body on that
lined up
on that
with the
pole,
upright.
Much
better angle than we have up
here. And as you can see, this is not the NFL. I mean, you're talking about the uprights probably only go up maybe about 15 feet, if that. So it's that imaginary line, and it's referee or official discretion. So we are at the under the 3-minute mark at the half. Goffstown leads 19-0. And I have to say, for a Labor Day weekend, I'm a little surprised. I didn't think we'd have such a big crowd. And I've got Adam is going to do a quick crowd shot. So this is pretty good for
yeah,
for
a
Labor
lot
Day.
of people away, I'm sure, but still a full house here. People get excited about that first week of football.
So I got to say, we got Adam McCune doing the camera work today. I want to thank Adam and all of our friends at GTV. They help us do this. And here comes the kickoff. Good kickoff. And number 8 has that, Isaac Glady. And looks like he's going fast, but he is corralled by number 55.
55, Pinard there again, doing everything on defense and special teams.
That'll be Justin Pinard, not, I think we had the public address announcer. Yeah. Hey, sometimes you get double vision, right? Maybe he needs concussion protocol.
Right now, I mean, Pinard's been everywhere, so you might see 2 55s.
Yeah.
It seems like there's 2 out there.
But, Steve, I think you're right. I mean, I know you don't follow the Goffstown team a whole lot, but you got a guy like Duval who does play a fairly deep safety position, and he's always looking for that little bit of a floater ball, and he tends to catch him when that happens. Zach Miles in the backfield. He's all alone, and it's a pass play to number 32, and he gets stopped. They got to stop you got to blow that whistle as soon as the helmet comes off.
That's a big hit right there.
Big hit, but you got to – I was surprised that the officials – it seemed like it was like a 1 or 2 second delay.
Poisson there for the big hit.
Yeah.
Great throw and catch there. Yep. Marcus Nelson hangs on to the football despite his helmet getting dislodged.
So whenever that happens, the rules say that if a helmet comes off, you've got to sit out of play.
You got to blow it dead.
And you got to sit out of play.
Yep.
That player has to go out. So, again, empty backfield for Concord. Miles, he's looking to throw again, and this is going to be a floater, and that's out of bounds. That wasn't even close, and that was the intended receiver, Jacob Knowles. And on protection there was Brandon St. Ange, but he had that covered the entire way.
Five receivers there for Concord. Looking like they're really trying to throw the ball getting down the field here at the end of the half. They need a score.
Yeah, but, Steve, this is dangerous because, we can only speak from experience that Duval tends to have pretty good eyes and good reflexes, and if there's any errant ball, he'll be right around it. So, again, 5 wide receivers for Concord, and it's going to be a short pass to number 11, and he's going to get quickly gang tackled by Goffstown. So number 11, Gavin Moody, he probably picks up about 4 yards, and that'll be a timeout.
Pinard and Moses there on the tackle for Goffstown. Short pass play there, no real blocking up front for Concord.
And I think on that play, Steve, Goffstown's defense was such that they're playing like a zone, almost like a prevent type defense. We'll give you 2, 3, 4 yard plays, knowing that we're going to probably tackle you. They know that they've got the clock in their favor.
Yeah, they take a timeout here. They're hoping to get the ball back, with a chance to score before the half as well. So big 3rd down coming up here for Concord.
I'll tell you, I'm looking at the size of the Concord squad, and it just doesn't, you've seen some of these other, you were talking to me earlier, Steve, about Exeter. Had 150 kids, you said, come out for the team?
Yeah, 145 day 1 of practice. So that's how you get numbers in the door. I mean, that's a lot of kids. Quite a program. But, yeah, numbers, all around the state seem to be dwindling. Doesn't affect Bill Ball and Exeter, however.
It's all about these feeder programs. Whether it doesn't matter what sport it is, you got to have these kids playing at a certain level early on if you're going to be successful at a varsity level. And again, now we got a motion, and it's going to be another pass play by Miles. He's going to get tripped up. No, he doesn't, but he gets tackled by number 77, Josh White. Trips him up.
He gets close to first down yard. He's a couple yards short here.
So let's just see what they do here. I don't think that you go for it with 4th down, and it looks to be about 4th down and about 3 or 4 yards. And I say that only because do you want to give Goffstown a short field here?
Right, 1:49. Obviously a lot of time left. Goffstown, I believe that's their 2nd timeout, so they'll still have 1 left, whether or not they take over here at the 40 or they get pinned a little bit further deep.
And Commissioner Brad is yelling in my ear, they get the ball, at the second half. So In case you don't know,
That's
Commissioner
right.
Brad is Brad Parkhurst. He's the GTV commissioner. He's kind of like the grand poobah of the cable television type of stuff. Rules with an iron fist. But if it wasn't for his vision and how he does things, we wouldn't be here. So you got to kind of take the good with the bad.
Right, little plug for GTV. Over 100 broadcasts of athletics events last year, which is amazing. Hopefully another record to be set this year.
The nice thing is we're working this year with a partnership with Bedford Cable Access, Bedford Television, to broadcast the Bedford-Goffstown game. We're really excited about that one.
Concord looks to be going for it on fourth down
That's
here.
Crazy.
It could be just drawing them off sides.
That's what I'm thinking. And that's what it is.
Yes, Coach Brown calls a timeout over here.
So, Steve, what I like about Goffstown Television is that you can come up with the craziest ideas, and
Okay.
Adam seems to go for it.
All right.
So we talked.
So we just say stuff on air, and then he has to back it up.
If you say hey, let's have this crazy idea where we could partner with Bedford Television and co-broadcast a game and bring in a ton of cameras and make it ESPN-like.
Yeah, they just
So
did that
all
on
of a
ESPN,
sudden-
the Megacast.
Right.
I think this is our own Goffstown Bedford
now,
Megacast.
Right. So now Adam is working on this with Bedford, and we're going to have I won't be doing that game, but it'll be a Bedford announcer, and Alan will be doing the play-by-play. I'll be kind of like the Tony Siragusa, on the sidelines. I'm going to get a turtleneck and a blazer. And we're going to do replays, and it's going to be an awesome
That's
partnership, and we're going to feed it live into both communities. So
That's
this
great.
It's going to be super.
And they get Homer broadcast on either side?
Yeah.
Is that how? Oh,
yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Outstanding.
And this is the type of thing that, communities, when they work together. So here we are. It's 4th down and 3. Probably another pooch kick, I'm thinking, but we'll see.
Goffstown's coming.
And it is a
It
pooch kick. And
Just gets it
that's
off.
not a good pooch kick. That'll probably go out around the 40-yard line. And it does, 40-yard line. So it's a short field. Goffstown could put in another score here potentially. So, getting back to this this joint venture, the beauty of it is that our communities, that we work together. When we have a very special event in either community, we can share equipment and resources. It's just really awesome.
And we all get better by
yeah.
working with each other. Absolutely.
You know what? It's all about the kids. It's all about the community and our student athletes, and any way that we can kind of help each other out. Last year I went to the championship game, and I happened to know one of the players for Bedford. I know his dad, and just watched the game. We just had an awesome time. Okay, that was a well-designed play, but it did not get executed well. So that was a screen play, and that would have been for big, big yards. And no, we're not saying that because you're here, Mr. Bedford. No, we're not.
Everybody yelled screen on that, so
say,
that's a
listen,
great job of defense sniffing
when we went
that
to
out.
Bedford last year, we had a little bit of a – we had some issues. Yeah, exactly. But you got a new guy this year.
Well,
right?
we're friendly, but it's still going to be competitive.
Yeah. And here comes a long pass. Oh, this could be trouble. And it's caught by
Great
Duval.
catch. Duval might take this in as well.
I'm not sure if it could be a penalty for Goffstown. I'm not sure what it –
I think that's going to be pass interference against Concord.
Because he
contact
face
before the
guarded them,
catch.
right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Looked like.
But the weird thing was that it was a very late flag coming out because he almost threw it a good 3-4 seconds after he was already running.
All right, defensive back for Concord makes contact with Duval
Yeah, I
before the
thought so,
catch.
too.
It is pass interference,
Okay.
and they're declining that.
Well, he also was kind of face guarding him at the same time. He had his back to, right. He was kind of.
And he never looks back for the football. That's
Right.
one of the key things that you're looking for. It's hard because that ball is thrown behind Duval. He makes a great adjustment on that catch, comes back to the ball, but in the meantime, contact with the defensive back, still makes the catch, and then brings it inside the 10.
I tell you, we don't keep stats in these games, but Duval probably has 150 total yards or something. It's kind of crazy, maybe more than that on that kickoff return, but. And that's nothing. Concord did what we've been doing, and that's kind of like almost like a run blitz on that one. They had, I think they sent 2 guys up the gaps.
Yeah, they're reading run there, and those are linebackers double A gap blitzing right there.
And we have about a minute left until the half. 19-0 Goffstown. And it looks like Goffstown has at least 1 timeout.
They have 1 timeout. They're milking clock here. Yeah. They don't want Concord to have anything left over.
Right. So the ball is on the 5-yard line. And I would be surprised if you see a keeper for Charlie Keith here. And lo and behold, that's what you got.
Nice call, Scott. Good call.
And that's about the 3-yard line for Keith.
Couple yards gain there. Now we're under 30 seconds.
I'll tell you, with those missed extra points, those come back to haunt you. So it looks like they're going to be taking their time here, and then if not, they'll make it. They'll probably kick a field goal. And that ball is over the outstretched arms of Duval.
That's a great job of clock management, though, by the Goffstown coaching staff. You get 3 cracks at the end zone inside the 10. That's what you're trying to get your players, 3 opportunities, and still have a chance to put points to the board without giving the football back to the other team.
So Goffstown's going to kick a field goal. That'll be a 22-yard field goal. And number 45 is Brad Minnick. And he's on for that field goal. And that's blocked. So Concord blocks the field goal with 4.2 seconds. They'll take over, and I doubt that they'll do much here. Probably just take a knee.
That's a big play by Buteau there to take away points from Goffstown. Looked for certain after that Duval catch that Goffstown was going to get something out of that possession.
Yeah. And that's why I think you got to be happy if you're Concord in a way, because there's been this game could have been a blowout, and they're still in this thing. Because think about it, Steve. It was that one, first play of the game. Other than that, it's been 2 offensive touchdowns, a missed block.
Yeah, they really needed to keep this a 3-score game to be in reach for certain.
Let's see what Concord does. Obviously, Goffstown is in a prevent. They got Duval way back at the 35-yard line. It's going to be a handoff to number 8, and he's going to get wrapped up by
Still going.
He's still going, and that's going to be it. So at the half, Goffstown leads 19-0, and to recap the scoring, Duval had a kickoff return for a touchdown. Then there was also about a 50-yard pass play from Charlie Keith to Duval, who was like wide open in single coverage. And then the last one was a beautiful throw from Keith to Mr. Putnam. And another nice score. But give Concord some credit. I mean, I think they've been outplayed here, but unfortunately they have not been able to, Concord has not been able to put any points on the board.
No, and they got down quick. Obviously you give up that initial kickoff return for a touchdown. You dig yourself an early hole. So to only give up 12 points, for the rest of the half. They minimize the damage there.
All right, so we're going to call it quits right now, and we'll come back at the second half. All right, so Steve, we're coming back to the second half of this first game of the season between the Goffstown Grizzlies and the Crimson Tide of Concord, and we're about to have the second half kickoff. Goffstown will be kicking off to Concord. I tell you, it was so far a dominating game by Goffstown, although I tell you they had opportunities to put a lot more on the board.
Right, you've seen a lot of lopsided scores so far in this first week of high school football. Concord seems to be up for this second half, and they are getting the ball first, so let's see how they come out.
Big thing for them is if they can get some quick special teams points here.
I'm glad he's going to touch the ball here, so
Short
he's a playmaker.
And looks like he is going to get stopped at around the 28-yard line, 30-ish, around there.
No surprise, Justin Pinard in again on the stop.
He seems like he's made, I think, 3 special teams tackles, right? I mean, he's been around the ball incredibly.
He has been the center of everything on that defense, and I mean, plays middle linebacker, so not necessarily a surprise on the defensive side of the ball, but he's just getting down there first on special teams, it seems like, every single time.
So, Steve, there is good news for you, by the way. At halftime, I did speak to the commissioner, Brad Parkhurst, and he does want to offer you a contract, a talent contract. So just get with him. I know your attorney might want to look at it. But
we got to read the fine print.
Congratulations.
Make sure I get all the perks, the same perks that you do, Scott.
All right, so we got Miles at quarterback, and what do we got going on here? Timeout?
We have a timeout.
Television timeout here, folks. We're going to go to our sponsors. We don't have sponsors now, do we? We can't have sponsors because it's community television. Or that's what you tell us.
And that
Can we?
That was not a plug for the Blue Moose earlier. I mean, although they are fantastic.
No, they
great
donated
people.
some cupcakes, so that's not really a promotion. And congratulations, by the way, to the students. Emily Fournier, she was the first person. She kicked a 17-yard field goal, and then I believe it was Vincent Bragagliano who was able to kick that the extra point, and the other 2 weren't able to do it. But they were valiant efforts. I tell you, John Cormier, his son Carter, plays running back. He's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
and
he hooked too.
Yeah, just really not good technique.
Well, he did. I'll give him some credit. He coached up the other 2 that did make them.
Yeah.
So.
And I do want to thank the Goffstown cheerleading team. They were really great sports as well on the spur of the moment. So here we go. We're going to have the first offensive set for Concord. They've got a single back in the backfield, and that's movement by number 52, it looks like. It looked like 52 jumped.
32, Marcus Nelson
was it?
For Concord. That's right. Yeah, slot guy, a little jumpy to start the second half. The early timeout taken.
Also, it was him, not the guard.
I saw the outside guy, but it could have been something inside.
So they'll now operate at a 1st and 15 at their 26-yard line. And Malachi's in the backfield, and there's a keeper by the quarterback. He takes the edge, throws it over to, and nice grab.
Great catch.
Great concentration by number 32, Marcus Nelson.
That's a tremendous play.
Yeah.
He ball thrown a little bit behind him, couldn't get his hands on it, able to really catch that ball twice while getting brought down.
Yeah, that was almost he almost got brought down. He got good legs though, So Pennard with another tackle.
And again, we got Miles kind of making a play with his legs and extending the play.
Right, Gladdy in the backfield. He takes the handoff, and he's going to get tripped up quickly by guess who?
There he is.
Number 55, Justin Pennard. I tell you, he deserves a cupcake today. He's been in on so many tackles.
Again, shooting the gap there, reading that run. No coverage responsibility, so he's just sitting there and anticipating that run every single time.
Now, Steve, we all realize here that if it were not for the defensive 3, the 3 front there, you don't get the chance to shoot those gaps because they're getting pushed back. But our defensive 3 are really doing a great job pushing that. And it's going to be another pass by Miles. He sprints to his left, and he cuts back inside. He's going to get a first down here. Nope, a little shy.
Just short. Pennard again funnels Miles back inside there. Probably minimizes the gain on the play. Again, this is where Miles is dangerous. When he gets outside of the pocket, he can make some things happen.
Yeah, so we got
short here.
Jake Brown on the tackle, and looked like Picard was also in on cleanup there. So it's 4th down and 1, and they might be going for it only because they're down by 19 points.
And it really looks close. He's got to get to the 41, it looks like.
Yep, 41-yard line. I don't think you'll see a pooch here. I think they're going for it.
They're going.
And he gets tripped up, but he gets the first down. So he picks up 2 yards on that play, and that'll be a first down. And that was a nice execution by Concord. And it looked like Gladdy, he paused like a split second to hit that gap.
Yeah, they get that offset I formation out of the pistol, or almost like a shortened shotgun. You get that lead blocker, you know, that gets you to a little bit more space to be able to get that 2-yard gain.
3 wide receivers for Concord. That was a little awkward there.
Movement,
yeah, but nobody. He gets the edge. Gladdy gets the edge, and he gets tackled at about the 48 of Goffstown. And that'll be about a 6-yard gain. That was really weird because it looked like there was movement on the left-hand side of that line.
It did. It did look like there was some movement. No flag on the play. It was almost on, you know, at the same time as the snap. Would have been a tough call. Chouinard does a good job there of staying home on the edge. He took a tough block there. Would be surprised if he's a little bit banged up.
So that's a first down and 10 at the 48-yard line of Goffstown. Gladdy in the backfield takes the handoff up the middle, and he is stopped by number 55, Justin Pinard. Again, this guy is like, that's crazy how many tackles
everywhere.
He's having.
And you know, I mean, Concord wants to get the ball to Gladdy and Malachi and get those guys in space. They really didn't get much out of them in the first half.
I'm just surprised they continue to try to run in between the tackles. You know, why maybe they respect Goffstown's speed.
Yeah, we talked about that speed on the edge.
But they haven't really gotten to the edge. Again, here's another one. Here's a fake. And let's see if Pinard can chase him down. And it's he cuts, and on the tackle there was number 5, Poisson. Pinard had him, but he got away from him, and then Poisson cleaned up. And that will be on the 40-yard line of Goffstown. That'll bring up about a 3rd down and 3.
7-8 gain there by Miles. He looks pretty gassed right now. So let's see if he does try to roll out again.
It's gotten appreciably warmer, you know, as the afternoon has gone on. Gladdy in the backfield.
Of course, we're in the air-conditioned booth, so
exactly.
You don't really feel that.
A nice cutback, but Pinard was there again.
It's again
so
very
Pinard,
close to first down yardage, but it looks to be a bit short.
So Pinard was there to prevent Miles from getting to the edge, but then he cuts it back, and he gets tackled. So it looks like it'll be about a 4th and a long one, maybe 2 yards. And Concord almost has to go for it here. It's on the, like I said, about the 39-yard line. They're down 19-0, so this is a big drive for them. They've had at least 2 to 3 first downs.
Zach Miles looks to be really struggling right here. Now he's run the ball, I think, 2 straight times.
There's something not right, though. Yeah. It's not. I don't know if he's winded or if it's he's hurt.
He took a good shot, not on the last play, but on the play before.
Yeah.
Might still be suffering some of the effects from that hit, but he's definitely carried a lot. You know, carried the ball a lot this second half too.
So there's a lot of emphasis on the concussion protocol. I don't know what type of hit that he took, but, you know, the referees in division, on all the divisions, they're very cognizant of these hits to the head.
Yep.
And they're going to err on the side of caution. If they think that a player might have issues, they're going to pull him out of the game.
They're taking him out.
And that's what they're doing here. So, again, you have to err on the side of the player's safety. So tough break for Concord, bringing their signal caller out. And, again, they're going to take a look at him.
It did look more fatigue related.
Yeah.
He's getting checked out by the trainer right here. Obviously, you know, this is not ideal on a 4th and short to have a cold quarterback going into the game.
And the quarterback is number 10, it looks like. Harrison Mackey. Sneak.
Mackey's going to go right up the middle.
He doesn't get it.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's going to get it.
Got a little push there.
I don't think so.
They measure this.
No, I don't think he does. I don't.
They're bringing out the chains. Not a great push there.
It's going to be close.
It looks like we have
I think he's going to be short by a football. And Commissioner Brad, that's what he's been saying. He said he bet a pizza from Pizza Market. Oh, I can't say that. Damn. Sorry. And Commissioner Brad is right again. This guy is unbelievable. Brad Parkhurst. If you've ever met him, he lives in Goffstown. Very famous man.
Football length exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know how he does it. He wears glasses too, and he still gets it right.
He must have had a better angle than us on that
Yeah,
one, because
he did.
I thought it was a little bit closer than that. It looks like Miles was heading back into the game, so that's good for Concord that they're going to get him back at least.
So Goffstown will take over on down, Steve, at their own 38-yard line.
Great defensive stand there, by the way. Everything right up the middle clogged up. Moses, really a tough guy to move in the center, and they just really couldn't get any push on him.
Here comes a pass play. Nope, Keith is going to take it, and he's going to get wrapped up for a loss by number 55. I'm giving it to Christian Waldron, but
that's either McCready. I believe it's McCready. We have some mistransposed numbers, I believe, on the Concord side.
So that was a loss of 6 yards on that play, bringing up a second down and 16. Ball's on the 32. And you got Jack Stinnett in the backfield. We got 3 wide receivers near side, 1 on the far side. Here comes a pass over the middle to Duval, and this could be going all – no, he gets tackled, open field tackle by number 34, Derek Kelleher.
That's an important tackle.
Yeah, that saves
a touchdown. But again, man-to-man defense, that's a tough matchup, especially with Duval.
So we're lucky. We've got Jack St. Jean in the booth with us. He's doing the videography work for the Goffstown football team, although he's not wearing sunscreen right now, and his mom would not be happy. So I think he's starting to get a little sunburn. And that is a keeper by Charlie Keith, who breaks a couple of tackles, and he gets corralled at about the 24-yard line. Looks to be a gain of about 7.
Much more comfortable on the exchange that time, too. Late pull, but it's almost like Duval expected Keith to pull the ball that time. Right decision by the quarterback.
So we got Putnam and Schwinnard flanked out closest to the bottom of your screen. Heidenreich, top of your screen. Looks like number 3, Coleman Handrahan, is in the game as well in the backfield. He takes the handoff. He goes right up the middle, and he surges forward. I think he's going to get a first down on that one. And he does.
A little power change of pace there with Handrahan carrying the ball.
It was over right guard, it looked like. Or right tackle, I should say, on that one. Right guard or right tackle, hard to tell. Looks like he went right over number 73, Noah Mann.
You got Dan Locke on that side, too. Give a little love to the linemen there, making their blocks.
Here comes a screen.
Here's a screen.
And that's Handrahan, but he loses his balance.
That could have gone the distance.
It would have been. I think it would have been, but he lost his balance.
Right, never quite got his feet underneath him. Still a pretty good pickup there.
Yeah, Josh White picked him off the ground. And, give credit to the offensive line for Goffstown. You got LaFave there. You got Evan Cuddy, number 78.
It's also a really good play call there. Concord's trying to be more aggressive. I think they're trying to switch the momentum on the defensive side of the ball. They're bringing guys up. Coach Huff's team right there catches them on a blitz look and allows for that gain on first down.
That's going to be a keeper, and he's going to get nothing on that one. Number 58 on the tackle, that would be Cameron Thompson. I guess it's Alex Buto, so I guess I got wrong numbers.
Numbers.
Is
58
Buto?
is Buto.
I'm sorry. We got wrong information on our sheet here. I know, thank you, Commissioner. He said he's not going to criticize me because it's my first game of the season.
We get one game. We get a pass.
Well, you know what? When a guy I think Buto's made a lot of tackles, I think I've called the wrong guy, so I feel bad.
Yeah, he's definitely been in the mix for Concord. You see them being very aggressive here in this. They're playing with fire a little bit in their man-to-man coverages.
Duval's in motion. He gets the ball. He gets the edge, and he breaks one tackle, but he gets corralled at about the 11-yard line.
Maybe a yard short.
He might be there. It's going to be really close. And according to the guy who's doing the marking, it's to be about a yard short. You're right. McGonigal. Now, isn't that he's in the tackle, but that was McGonigal, Professor McGonigal. That was Harry Potter is playing for Concord? No.
That's outside my knowledge base.
It is?
I don't, yes, I cannot comment. I've not read any of them.
How about the movies? How about the movies?
Nope.
What's up with that, Steve?
I don't know. It's just I haven't.
You were watching too much ESPN in your days,
the
man.
The contract has been reneged, apparently.
That's right. Actually, I don't know too much about it. I have not. We're about a football shy of a first down. It'll be fourth down and about a football length, it looks like. And they're giving him a first down. Okay, I got to go back to Manchester Eye Associates. Oh, I gave another business out, but my glass prescription is. That's all right. My vision was the same. I'm going to get like a what do you call it, like banned, like an FAA. I'm going to get like a letter probably, I bet. I could. A cease and desist. I'll just call it.
As long as you're not profiting.
I should have gone to ABC optometry because my glasses are not working well.
As long as we're equal opportunity.
Steve, you'll see when you get old like me, you'll get the bifocals, man, the progressives.
I am very nearsighted, so I'm already giving quite a bit of business away to.
Here comes
to
a
my
pass,
local
and that's going to be a
optometrist.
touchdown to number 22, Colby Putnam. That's his second of the day. Again, Colby Putnam runs a beautiful slant route, and really very difficult to defend that. There's really no help by a linebacker or any safety help. So it's really all cornerback coverage, and Putnam does one little juke, and he's open.
Yeah, he's isolated out there on the top side of the field. Defensive back does his best, but he gives up outside leverage. Then you have the slant. They hit it real quick. Clean pocket for Keith. He's able to step up into it, deliver a strike.
And Gibson
puts
the kick through. So it looks like Goffstown is trying to figure out their kicking duties today between Gibson and Minnick. Looks like Minnick has had a couple of the kickoffs. Gibson has been more of the extra points. And I think Minnick, he had one blocked. Yeah. But Minnick has the kicker's calves, I've noticed. Not that he's got those like meaty kicker calves. Yeah. That's what you need, man. You got to have big, strong legs to do that stuff. Unlike you, Adam.
He's a
6'1",
179.
He's giving me a look. He's
giving
me a look. Adam McCune here from GTV. Yeah.
I'm lucky I wasn't one of the
Brad, please
people
don't.
doing the halftime kicking.
Brad, please don't talk about your legs, all right?
I wasn't a football player. I was a soccer player.
Many have seen Brad's legs mowing his lawn on Mast Road, so. Here comes the kickoff. Nice kickoff. Really good kickoff. Number 34, Kelleher. He breaks the edge, and it's going to be tackled by number 33, I think. No, Jack Stinnett. He gets the tackle in my book. I overruled the public address announcer on that one.
Although I do believe he's got the correct Concord number for Manny Feliz. So I believe Feliz is 34.
Feliz is 34.
Feliz is 34.
Okay. Man.
I know. We've got a few on here. Some other coaches in attendance today, today being a Saturday game. Bill Ball, Goffstown's Week 3 opponent.
He's here? Yeah.
Is here. He was highly entertained by the kick contest we had going on.
All right. You should have brought him up. We would have given him a cupcake.
Oh, yeah. And we do a little guest commentary with the coach. They played Central last night, and
here comes a pass
game,
play. It's going to be a screen. Oh, just really just eaten up on that play. I think that was Poisson.
That is Poisson. He's had a couple really big hits in this game.
So, Steve, this is your big test here. You get this question right. It's automatic contract, 3-year contract, okay?
Okay.
French. Poisson means what in French?
Is it fish? It's Fish.
It
I
is
believe.
Fish, 3-year
Yeah.
contract. There you go. It's very simple. You don't get paid in this business, but
No, I did know that though. I
Okay.
did get some assistance from the
All
from the
right.
producer. But however,
you know how to say it in Italian?
can I say it in Italian?
Yeah.
I know in Spanish it's pesca.
So you're
I
right
would
there.
imagine-
Then. So you're right there.
I would imagine it's got to be something in that vernacular, right? They're all Latin language. Poisson, pesque.
Yeah, it's kind of
Fish.
yeah.
It's amazing what people by watching the GTV.
They learn so much. Yes, it is an educational network. We're trying to educate along with entertain.
So Steve, you probably know this, but Jack St. Jean, he's pretty famous too. This guy is like quite the wrestler, like big time wrestler.
This guy?
So Jack, you were like state champ, right? And then you also went to the Meet of Champions. Yeah. So this guy, he's like
Wow,
he's
that's
like the
big.
real deal, man.
What year are you, Jack?
He's a senior this
Senior.
year. So we got some stars up here. It's a handoff, and Poisson wraps him up, and now with Pinard. So it's the law firm of Poisson and Pinard.
Pinard and
5.
Picard.
There's a lot of fives. Now he's saying that public address is calling him Seth Malaki. We were told it's Malachi, right?
Malachi, I believe.
Now, do you remember? Now, Steve, this is probably before your time too. Remember Happy Days, that TV show?
I do remember
Remember
my time. But I
remember
saw it
the
on Nick at Night.
Malachi
Yeah.
Crunch? Do you remember that?
That I don't
Okay,
remember.
all right. You probably remember that.
I remember Potsy.
Potsy.
Potsy was
Yeah.
great. He was
All right,
Richie and
16
Potsy,
seconds left in the third. Got a long third and 15.
Joni Loves Chachi. That's right. Had its own spinoff.
And Miles has it, and he's going to be thrown out to number
Throwing it
11.
back. Oh, great
He cuts
block.
it in. Oh, what a hit by Poisson. Oh, my God. Oh, they're going to give him don't tell me they're going to give him a penalty on that. For what?
You had for a couple big hits
He might,
on that play.
he might get a flag for, like, bragging or
maybe a face mask.
could be unsportsmanlike because he got up, but I don't know. He just laid the lumber on that one.
You make a hit like that, you're probably going to be a little excited about it.
We have 2 dead ball fouls.
You have offsetting personal
All right.
foul penalties, a little jawing both ways.
Yep. I mean, that was just a tremendous hit by Poisson. And, you gotta really be careful in terms of your celebrations. You don't want to get a cheapie, Steve. Now, this game here seems like it's well in hand for Goffstown, but you get into a close game and you get penalized with a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike in a tight one. That could that could
15
do it.
yards in that situation would have been a first down, too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, isn't it? It's,
Good to
it's
keep those
automatic.
emotions
It's
in check.
automatic on a personal foul, right? So, dead ball, personal foul, automatic. I think.
I know it is in college, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the high school. I believe they just march off the yards. But in that situation, definitely either way, a first down.
Yeah.
So Goffstown, again, we flip the field here. They're up 26-0. Still have the momentum in this game, it feels like.
Yeah, I think defensively they're really starting to pick it up now.
Yeah, exerting themselves. What's fascinating and really great to watch from up here on the Goffstown side is how disciplined they are on the defensive end. The guys kind of stay home. You've got guys like Poisson that can come up and stick people, but for the most part, everyone does their job and doesn't try to do too much.
Yeah, they stay in their tackling lanes, and it is. You're right. They're very disciplined.
And when you have a team like Concord that's got some athletes, that's the only thing that's really going to keep them in check.
So we're gonna get a punt here.
A player coming on late for Concord.
Yeah, number 75, James McGee. Here comes the punt, and that's a high punt, but a short one.
Punt.
They got to get away from that one. Stay away, and it's not a live ball because Concord was the one who hit it first. If Concord touches it first, it's not a live ball.
However, we have a blue baggie on the field, which means it looks like they are saying Concord touched it
Yeah, but
first.
Concord touches the ball, so as soon as they touch the ball, it's dead.
Yeah. So they're
30-yard line. Goffstown 1st and 10 from the tie. 30.
Referees are explaining the call to Eric Brown right now. It did look like the ball touched a Concord player first, should have been blown dead, and then Concord pounces on it after it touched a Goffstown player afterward.
So you're right, Coach Eric Brown for the Crimson Tide. He's assisted by Mike Pelletier and Kevin Nyhan. And the team managers are Evan Thea Dukopoulos, Emily Haywood Minery, and Emma Peterson. So I want to give a shout out to them. And Goffstown's on offense. And it's a handoff to Stinnett, and he picks up a short 2 yards up the middle. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of coaches on the Goffstown side. Justin Huft is the head coach, assisted by Mark Cousin, Sean Connolly, Keith Detchen, Josh Devriant, Jeff Dalzell, Joe DeLuca, Gary Perrin, Alex Paraskevas, David Spinal, and Matt Sullivan. Got a big staff for Goffstown. And team managers are Kaylin Gervais and Jack St. Jean. And we got a whistle, delay of game. Delay of game by Goffstown. And that's really all on the quarterbacks right there, because what happens is you don't have a clock in high school football, but what you do have is you have that back judge who puts his hand up.
Yep, he's keeping time.
Yep.
He's keeping time, and what you want to make sure here is you finish this game without, too many bad habits piling up here.
Yeah, too many bad, not too many bad habits, and hopefully no injuries. High snap, and that ball is kept by Keith. He cuts inside. He gets dragged down by number 59. I don't even know who 59 is because it's not even on our.
By Alexander Buto.
Buto, I think he's wearing multiple numbers.
58. Yeah, that one is a not listed player.
Okay.
Keith,
We just give it to Buto no matter what.
That's right.
Yeah, when in doubt, it's
57,
Buto.
58, 59.
Yeah, it's
Buto's
Buto.
in the middle of the
Yes.
field. He's usually in on most of it, too.
So a 3rd down and 6 at the 27-yard line of Concord. And this will be 4th down territory as well due to the long nature of a field goal. Here comes a fumble, and that is recovered by Goffstown, number 2. And again, this is like you were talking before, Steve, about finishing strong.
Right.
And that was a very sloppy exchange there.
Yeah, and again, we've seen this a couple times in the game, especially on that stretch exchange between Keith and Duval, and quarterback's got to have a good idea where he's going in that situation, especially with somebody that's a little bit speedy like Duval. Am I giving it or am I keeping it? And sometimes it takes a while to make that read, and that's all stuff you got to work on.
Are you kidding me that you're going to try a field goal here? Are you kidding me? You're going to try a 50-yard field goal in high school? 49-yard field goal.
Well, you figure 26-0. Maybe it's time to work on this.
I don't know. That's crazy.
That had a lot of leg.
You know what?
A little bit short.
Give him a cupcake.
Holy
A little
cow.
bit short.
David Gibson, I'll tell you, I think if he could probably kick a 40-yarder, though, from what I can see there.
Yeah, that might have hit 40. I mean, it was a line drive.
Right.
But a lot of confidence in
Yeah.
Coach Huff to put Gibson out there.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Oh, I think I know why, because it's a no-lose situation,
It's a
right?
no-lose, so you might as well in that situation. It's all.
So if
end
you
up getting
attempt a
punt.
field goal, it goes automatically to the 20. I didn't know that. We're going to have the commissioner take a look at the rule book on that one, because. So we're under 9.5 minutes left in the game. Goffstown leads 26-zip. Here comes a pass play, and that's going to be that's an incomplete pass. It was a forward pass.
Forward pass intended for Knowles.
I'm curious to see, Steve, are we going to see a lot of pass plays, or are they going to, I don't know, can try to just maybe get practice in their offense? I don't know. It's hard to say.
I think Concord feels like they got to get something on the board here.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's to stay in this game or for confidence to keep going the rest of the season, they're going to want to score.
So we got 4 wide receivers. Here comes a pass over the middle, and it's intercepted by number 3.
That's Handrahan.
Handrahan.
Coleman Handrahan sits there the entire time, just lets the receiver come to him. Quarterback never really sees Handrahan on that side of the field.
You're right. It seemed like he just kind of ducked into that route. So maybe we can get Joe DeLuca. He's one of the coaches here. We can find out about this whole field goal thing. So maybe we can get a little insight, because that was a little weird. I always thought that when you missed a field goal, you got the ball where the ball was spotted on the snap. But then again, there's a lot of differences between high school and college and professional football. So it's very possible that just have a difference of rules. So Charlie Keith in the shotgun, and he hands off to Stinnett, who gains maybe 2.
Number 33, Jack Stinnett.
It's been very, very difficult today for Concord, especially to find the cracks in that Goffstown defense. It just doesn't seem like there's much there. They haven't tried to throw the ball vertically a lot, and that's probably because of the the nature of their players and the personnel that they have.
So I'm curious here, will we see a hat trick touchdown-wise for Duval or Colby Putnam? Each of them has 2 touchdowns today. Stinnett is in the backfield. And it's a keeper by Charlie Keith. He almost got tripped by number 51.
Handrahan,
I'm sorry.
In, yeah.
Yeah, so Handrahan, looks like he kept it, but looks like he got tripped up by
3rd and 7.
Nate Halick.
14-yard line.
Looks like they're giving Keith just a rest now. I don't think he got rest.
So Handrahan will get some reps here at quarterback. Important to get depth. I mean, if you can get week 1 and you get some reps for your backup quarterback, that's always a good thing.
And Josh Juneau is the running back. He takes the ball and he gets hit. Maybe he got about 2 yards.
Joshua Juneau on the carry.
And let's see what Goffstown does here. You know, this Justin Huff's a pretty professional type coach. He doesn't try to run up scores and stuff. So,
well,
these are good times to kick field goals, only because you're getting some experience. So,
and there's 2 schools of thought.
Yeah.
If you're playing your ones, you want to get them as many reps as possible. I understand that, but it's really about developing those other guys on your bench too, and that's going to help you in the long run. And I feel like that's how Huff.
Bad snap. Here comes Minnick, and Minnick's kick looks good though.
Drilled it.
And Minnick nails a 31-yard field goal, and that was a tough snap, but it was corralled.
A great job by the holder on that to get that snap down.
That was a Handrahan who.
Handrahan on the hold does a great job of setting that kick. A great concentration by Minnick too, because the ball's not down very long for him to be able to spot that kick.
Isaac Laddie, number 34. Manny believes are deep for Concord to receive. Number 45, Josh Minnick, will kick off for the Grizzlies. Brad Minnick.
So Minnick, who hit that 31-yard field goal a few seconds ago, he'll be kicking off for Goffstown. They lead 29-0. And again, that's a squib-type kick, short to number 20. And again, I guess that ball is called dead because his knee was down when he grabbed it.
Yeah, Rinaldi, as soon as he's down there, cannot advance the football after that.
First and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Now, if you're Concord, you're still doing exactly what you were trying to do. You're trying to put points on the board, trying to move the football, find the chinks in the armor of this Goffstown defense.
So you got Colby Putnam on the near side of the field playing cornerback. Brandon St. Ange, number 27. We got a late entry, number 42. Late, he comes in, and it's going to be he's going to hold it. And he gets pushed out of bounds by number 42, who came on late, Mason Albert. So Mason Albert, he ran about 85 yards from the sideline and then kind of going across on that play.
Well, what's impressive?
He's
again
gassed right now.
He came on late, but at least he got to his spot.
Yep.
He did get in position. So the coaching staff may not be happy about his late entrance on the field, but at least he got to where he needed to be.
Okay, we have Malachi in the backfield, and that's another flag.
I believe that's Concord not getting lined up, but it could be a neutral zone thing as well.
It's defense, neutral zone infraction. So we're starting to see some substitutions for Goffstown. Number 30, Brad Baxter's in the game. You got Trevor Post playing the nose.
32, Bird Diaz.
Yep, Bird Diaz.
At their own 45-yard line.
Safety is who? 20. Gabe Sabolka, number, is he 26? Yep. So we got a lot of substitutions for Goffstown. Single. Let's see, we got 5 wide receivers, no back, no in the. Oh. He eludes number 57, throws to number 32, but Nelson couldn't hold on to it, and another flag. Personal foul on Concord. That's 15-yarder.
Personal foul. If you saw the flag, it hit 75 in the head. Usually if you get hit in the head with a flag, it's on you.
Yeah. And if you're Concord, you don't want to see that. You know, you don't want to.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
But really, Goffstown has been winning the physical battle in this game. You've seen some big hits, and those things, even though they don't show up on the stat sheet, they do dictate momentum in a football game, and can be frustrating.
So on the defensive line, we got Marcus Rush, number 79. Trevor Post at nose. And that ball's handed off to number 11. He splits the gap, and that could be trouble. And he is brought out by number 22, Colby Putnam. Drags him out of bounds. He picks up probably about 10 yards on that one. Maybe more than that. So he picks up most of those yards that were lost on that personal foul, Steve.
Yeah, Moody gets loose there. Hasn't been able to do that very often today, but when he's touched the football, you can tell he's a dangerous character.
And maybe now they feel they can exploit the edge because of the speed. Maybe there's a speed difference.
All right, you're kind of going against the twos here,
yep.
But at the same time, again, they've got to get a handle on this game.
You got 5 wide receivers for it now. Number 11's in motion. And nice throw. I think that was to.
Miles does a good job again with his legs, stepping up there, and then buying some time for his receiver to get open, and then delivers the strike. When they've made some progress on the offensive side, it's after Miles has made those little runs.
So it looks like Goffstown is playing mostly their second team at this point on defense. Let's see if they get a push in here. And a nice throw, and he goes out of bounds. That was a throw to Jacob Knowles. Clock stops at under 5.5 left in the game. Goffstown's up 29-0.
It definitely notes saying, it's a little easier to move the football when you're not looking at 55, when you're not looking at 75. Things get a little bit easier, but it's also good for Goffstown to be able to get these guys some rest and make sure they don't get hurt.
And Miles with the keeper. Ooh, and that could draw a flag because he slid and gave himself up. And he's looking for a flag. He didn't get one, but he did slide, Steve, and he got tagged.
Yeah, it seemed like that was a little bit late. I mean, that's tough as a defensive player to pull up in that situation. But we know the rules, especially they protect the quarterbacks and they really should be, especially when they go to ground because in that situation Miles is very vulnerable.
25-yard line.
So again, Concord is going into this 5 wide receiver formation. A lot of times they'll have a runner in motion. And it looks like defensively we popped off sides number 79. Looks like he went, and that would have been Marcus Rush, I think.
Yeah, it looks like Miles is able to draw him off sides there with a hard count.
Penalty against Goffstown. 5-yard penalty.
But you're right, Steve. I think, when you get these the second team in there, you know what happens in football. I mean, players get hurt, and it's next man up, and you got to get these guys some reps in real action.
Right, and it's usually this season that you'll need them. Some of these guys are sophomores and juniors, so it's going to be in their long-term interest. But it's the nature of a football season where you're gonna have a few guys go down at some point.
And a beautiful catch.
What a great catch.
Yeah, that was a wonderful catch.
That's Manny Feliz in the end zone for Concord. He's made a couple of those circus catches today.
And that was a great pass by Miles. It was in a spot that only Feliz could have caught it.
Only Feliz is coming down with that ball. It's not terrible coverage there either. I mean, that's just a well-thrown ball and an athletic catch.
Was he the same guy who made that crazy catch, near us? The one that we bobbled, and is that him?
I think it was.
Yeah,
I think that was Feliz.
He's got really good hand-eye coordination from catching these balls that are pretty tough. And that looks to be a good extra point.
But definitely a positive there for Concord to take away from this game is Miles making plays with his legs and then being able to find some open receivers like Feliz.
But see, they got to try to get like Knowles and Feliz more. They got to get them into the game a little bit better. I don't know.
That's right.
You got to start to develop more plays for these playmakers because they do have some playmakers.
Definitely. I think the matchup up front was always going to be in Goffstown's favor today. They won the battle in the trenches where it needed to be won, and so many times that's where football games are won. It's mostly blocking and tackling, and it's inside the tackles.
So, Steve, we're going to be doing some post-game interviews, and Alan and I, we typically chat at around this time if the game seems to be won, and it does in this particular case. Tell me, give me a couple of names. Who do you think we should talk to today?
I think we've got to definitely talk to Justin Pennard.
Okay.
I think Justin Pennard on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, I don't think we talked about a play where Justin Pennard was not involved. And, we didn't talk about him at all. And one of the reasons they're able to march down the field is 55's not in the game. So I think he's definitely risen to the top in terms of that defense.
All right, give me an offensive guy.
Offensively, I think for Goffstown, you got a number of guys. Duval, he's made some plays. Putnam kind of came out of nowhere today to make a lot of plays. You had some great quarterback play from Charlie Keith. The whole offensive side, I think, played pretty well. But I would say those three guys on offense are your stars of the game.
All right, I had the same list. So now I don't know if I agree with that call by the referee, and I'll tell you why. It was because he had his knee down, but then when he caught the ball, he was standing up, and I think there's a difference there. I think if you possess the ball, any part of the ball with your knee down, it is a dead ball.
Right.
But it is what it is.
And I think it's in fairness to the defense in terms of is the guy giving himself up, and in that situation you almost have to err on the side of, what the defense is seeing. And
we got another quarterback in now, and he gets crushed. So that's number 11, Aiden Hatt, who got his hat crushed on that one.
In fairness to Hatt, he had
was a bobble,
tough snap there. your first snap as a quarterback, you probably don't want to be bending down and picking that up. It's not going to end well.
And what is Hat is a sophomore.
A lot of twos in for both teams at this point in the game.
Another bad snap. That's tough. I mean, so we got I don't know who's snapping the ball right now. Who's the center? No cupcakes. No cupcakes there.
No cupcake for him.
That would be Cam Oakland.
All right, come on, Cam.
He'll get it. He'll get it. Early season for everybody. We got to understand.
That's
We had a
right.
sloppy first, 5 or 6 minutes of the first quarter. You got to give the JV guys, the same.
There you go.
The same leeway.
And he's tackled for a loss. So
Ball came
and
loose.
the ball came out.
I think it came
right
out
back
after.
to him. So this will be a punt situation, and the punter is going to be really close to the back of the end zone on this one.
No gain on that play.
So it's on the 8-yard line of
We
Goffstown.
had 4th and 22.
8-yard line.
Are you kidding me? There's no punter in the game.
Well, he did go for one earlier.
Yeah, but not
a
on
little
a
deeper
but not on a
now.
22.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Right now they're eating clock. They are eating clock right now, trying to get that clock a little
I think
bit.
they're going to take a delay a game
Probably.
or a timeout, and then they'll put it right.
There was a flag on the play.
Yeah, it's half the distance right there. That'll move it back about a yard and a half. So you're not giving up much ground there.
And we should see a punter coming in now. Number 2, Charlie Keith is in the game, and Charlie will probably kick the ball.
No. You see him roll out. And
Oh boy, he's going to take a safety.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 2, Charlie Keith runs out of the end zone. That's good for a safety for Concord.
I think he did that on purpose.
Yeah.
They'll have a free kick with
Well, what you don't want to do there is you don't want to give up field position, and give them a chance to score 7.
Right.
So you figure you give up the 2, right, and then try to pin them back on this kick coming.
Right.
So a little strategy
And,
there.
and it's a
employed
free
by
and it's a free
Coach
kick.
Huff.
Yeah.
Right, it's a free kick, so you can.
So in pro football, Steve, right? It's a punt on a safety, right? But in this, it looks like he's kicking off of a tee here.
You actually get the choice,
Oh, okay.
right? So you can take a free kick from that spot, or you can set it down and place kick it. So they do have the option here. After the 50-yard attempt, apparently Coach Huff feels pretty good about David Gibson's foot.
Okay. And he should. That's a good kick. And guess who had that tackle? 55.
55. He checks back in. He immediately makes a play.
So, Steve, not just on defense. I mean, he's had, I think, 4 special teams tackles.
Almost every single one.
Yeah.
And you think about that call by Coach Huff to take the safety there. There's a million things that could go wrong
Right.
on a snap.
Right.
You don't want to take the chance and have a bad snap or a block that turns into 7 points, and now all of a sudden Concord's got a little bit of a foothold in the game.
Yeah, I hear you.
Probably a good call there.
And not to mention it, there will be other games in the season, and you're coaching for those future games too. So whatever you're doing in a game like this, hopefully you'll make those same decisions when it's a closer game.
Absolutely. Right. Everything is preparation.
Right.
And that's a great way to approach every single game, whether you're playing with your 1s or your 2s. You're giving them kind of strategies that are going to help them later on in the season.
So Cameron Kate fakes the handoff, and he's going to get tackled for a loss. And that was number 60.
Great pursuit there by the Goffstown defense.
I had Noah Fontaine.
Yeah.
There's a flag on the play.
And Norwood Dennis.
Yep. That's a face mask. I didn't see that one.
Going to be 15 yards
at the end of the run.
Just still looks to be short.
And an automatic first down.
It's a 15-yard penalty on Goffstown. Still remains first down.
Okay, so it's not an automatic first down.
Not an automatic, but you're going to see the very rare first down and 3.
3.
First and 3 from the Concord 48-yard line.
That's a coach's favorite first down.
I'm sure it is. You can pretty much do anything.
Yeah. Open the playbook.
Cameron Cade in the backfield. He gets the handoff, and he gets quickly corralled by Goffstown. And it looked like it was number 30 on the tackle, which is Brad Baxter.
Tackle by number 30, Brad Baxter. Brings up second and 1 from midfield.
It's a lot easier to call these games, Steve, when the action's right in front of us. You can actually see the numbers.
Yeah, if they should be more considerate and just keep the game right here.
Or just or put us on a some sort of a monorail.
A
monorail.
A moving platform.
Maybe the boosters can do that for us.
That's in GTV's
So you got
budget.
number 17 almost. I like that play, but we defended it really well. And that was stopped by number 11, Aiden Hatt, on the tackle.
He gives a little flex to the sideline there.
So that's the crazy thing. So they had a first down and 3, and they've only put 1 yard up, so now it's a third and about 2.
Justin Huft had a really interesting comment that he made to New Hampshire Football Report in his preseason report. He said that he wants his players to basically lead the league in how much fun his players are having.
Wow, that says something.
You really see that kind of in the joy that these guys play with. They're very disciplined and they take care of their business, but at the same time, they're enjoying what they're doing out there.
And it looks like number 42, Mason Albert, I think, had that tackle. And there's about 26 seconds left. And the clock will start up again. So we will go down stairs, Steve, and we'll chat with some of these players.
Looks like Concord's going to run one last play.
Yeah, which
here.
they should.
Yep.
I mean,
deep look, 40's open.
1.5 seconds left. That's what I was saying before, though. I don't think he has the, I don't know, the deep ball. I mean, there are very few high school quarterbacks who can throw a real strong deep ball.
I think the talent that they have at the running back position, too, Concord wants to be able to run the football.
Yeah.
You know, they want Malachi carrying the ball for them.
But why not more like screens and, I don't know, I don't think there's opportunities there.
It seemed like everything they threw at the Goffstown defense, they just didn't have the matchup. And a lot of that comes down to not winning the battles up front.
And that's the final play of the game. Hopefully nobody get hurt on that one. And that's the game, folks. So Goffstown wins 29-9 on it. Steve, a pretty dominant performance by Goffstown. I think they looked a little bit skittish a little in some of their sets. But overall, I think Coach Huff should be pleased with how they played. They tackled very well. Special teams played really well. And I think Coach Huff probably got what he wanted out of this game, like seeing who can play.
I think defensively, you talked about that being a strength of the Goffstown team. They definitely exerted themselves defensively today and really kind of won that battle. One defense, one special teams. Let's call offense almost a wash, but at the same time, Goffstown just made more plays.
Yeah, I agree. So with that, we're going to sign off here, and we're going to go down to the field and interview a couple of the players and hopefully Coach Huff. And for our first game of the season, Goffstown's victorious, so they're now 1-0. Next week, they'll be on the road. I believe they're going to Dover next Friday, and we'll be televising that game as well. And after that, It's a big game in Exeter.
Dover and Exeter. A lot of time on the coast over the next 2 weeks.
Get some lobster, and we should be all set.
Right.
All right, so thank you so much, Steve, for stepping in for Alan this week, and I'm pretty confident we're going to be hearing from you again.
Anytime, Scott. I'm expecting my contract paperwork shortly, and I'd love to pinch hit anytime.
All right, thank you so much. Take it easy, guys, and we'll be down in the field. All right, I'm here with Charlie Keith. Charlie, big first game of the season. You're probably a little bit nervous, right?
A little bit, yeah. But Huff's doing a good job of preparing us for the games.
Yeah, so tell me, what was your strategy going into it? What was your offensive strategy?
Well, we knew that their outside rovers are sealing really well, so majority of our inside zone was gives. And we had some trouble up front with blocking, but I think we got it down towards the end of the game. And that was just our main point. We knew they bit a little bit on some quick game, so long runs were pretty good. So
you had a lot of touchdown passes, 3 touchdown passes today, 2 of them to Putnam, 1 of them to Duval. Talk to me about the Duval one, because that one, to me, you dropped that sucker perfectly in there.
Well, yeah, on that play, so we originally designed that play to be to the farthest guy on the Y, and that's kind of a trick play we have just in case that we know they're biting up on that quick game. And so we just said, hey, throw it up to Duval. See, we know he's a good athlete. We know he can catch the ball, so thank you, Duval.
Yeah. Well, great game, and best of luck. We'll see you next week. You're playing Dover, right?
Yep.
All right, so we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, so I've got Justin Pinard. So, Justin, you play golf?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No.
So I don't
bad.
play very well, but I'm so bad that I have to count my strokes, right? So I have this little thing that has 12 beads on it, right?
Yeah.
So I was starting to think, hey, I can use these beads to count your tackles, but I ran out of the beads, man. I think you had
It's my bad.
You had 15, 20, you had so many tackles. Special teams. Talk to me about special teams, because not often is a linebacker on special, not all the time, but you are, and you're making a ton of tackles. Walk me through that one.
I didn't play last week, so I wanted to come out, show my stuff. So I just flew down the field, and not a lot of people tried to block me.
I think you had, Steve and I were talking as we were announcing the game. I think you had 4 or 5 tackles on special teams. It was crazy. Now on defense, you seem to be, were those run blitzes, or talk to us a little bit about your strategy on defense, because you were on the ball all the time.
Yeah, we switch back and forth, me and Jake Brown as the mic, and they just give us plays like a plugger or something, and then we just go hit the hole really fast.
How satisfied were you with the defense in terms of your tackling today?
Oh, fantastic. We played a lot better this week than last week.
I thought in terms of, I watched the Jamboree and I saw you guys, and I thought this week you stepped it up. The whole team really did well. Well, congratulations, and we'll see you next week in Dover.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I'm here with Mr. Duval. Now listen, Andrew, Alan Potvin, he nicknamed you the mailman, right? And he said that you kind of always deliver. So I want you to kind of you faked me out on that initial kickoff. So what was the strategy there? Because typically when the ball is kicked in that coffin corner, it's really hard to get a successful kick return.
Yeah, I don't think they were thinking that someone's going to go right up the sideline right there, too, because it kicked all the way to the left.
Yeah.
So when Chenard got it, he handed it off, and then I just got it, ran. I saw a hole and just booked it as fast as I can.
Get gassed on that one?
Yeah, I was pretty tired after that one.
So you had not only that one, but you had a beautiful touchdown reception, and Charlie, he put a perfect pass.
Yeah, right in my hands, right in my mitts.
Yeah. So the other thing that we were talking about is game one. Some things are good, some things not so good. Some of the exchanges on those, handoffs, the handoffs. What was going on there?
I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. I think it was just because the connection when we got the ball or something like that.
So I can guarantee you that Coach Huff is going to practice on that
practice
one, right?
a lot.
Right.
Yep.
Well, great game, and we'll see you next week in Dover, all right?
Thank you so much.